This morning, I'm going to introduce a piece of my life to you, my career, medical lab scientist. Let me start by telling you a little bit about the career, and then I'll jump on and share some of my career story with you. Medical lab scientist is a career in high demand in the midst of the pandemic, and honestly, before the pandemic as well. The career requires a bachelor degree in science. So basically, biology or chemistry is the general science degree that we usually have people work in the lab. And as just said, medical lab science or MLS person works in a clinical laboratory performing testing on biological specimens. We are also known as the doctor's doctor because about 60 to 70% of all decisions regarding to diagnosis, treatment, hospital admission, and discharge are based on medical test results. So this really signifies the importance of our job because the doctor are really depending on those test results to make their decision. This slide will tell us a little bit more about why this job is in such a high demand. The job is projected for an 11% growth from 2018 to 2028. And there are numerous factors that contribute to this growth. But I'm just going to list two examples for you. The first and obvious one is COVID-19 testing, as we all already know. It is the key to contain the virus and reopen the economy. Recently, we talked a lot about the reopening of school in physical person. But we know that in order to make it safe for people to come back to physical meetings, we really require testing so then we can know where the virus is spreading and contain it. Another contributor is the increase in aging population. As more and more people are aging, in the combination of having chronic disorders such as diabetes, obesity, and hypertension, those patients need to continually monitor and keep testing. So those really contribute to the growth of the demand of the job. So here I have a quote for you. It makes me feel my job is important for knowing that someone, whether it is caring doctor, sick patient, a good friend, or a desperate family member, is waiting for my work results so that they can proceed with their treatment. Terry 000. And if you don't know who the Harry 000 is, because it's an icebreaker speech, I'm going to share with you that Terry 000 is my screen name online in the virtual world. So let me break out a little bit and just show you that I actually write a blog. So this is my blog on WordPress, and I'm Terry. And so I'm not super active. This is an example of the article that I wrote about medical lab scientists. And this is what this whole speech is based on. If you guys are interested to check it out, I can send you guys the link afterward. I just usually write about kind of like things happen in my life and then the reflection with my life on the blog. So that's something that I wanted to share with you guys about myself today. Okay, trying to get to the next screen. Oops. Okay, sorry about that. My career story is what I'm going to talk about for the second half of my talk. It all began with a very rough first day of work. The career was really not as easy as I thought, but I really didn't plan to be an MLS, to be honest. I went to school originally thinking about going to pharmacy, but that didn't work out. And I ended up getting a bachelor in biochemistry. And after that, I returned home from Minneapolis, and my family is in Rochester. So with a science degree, Mayo Clinic is the place to go. I sent out a bunch of applications, and I ended up getting a clinical lab science offer. And so I walked into the job, feeling super overwhelmed on my first day, because first I was lost in the maze of this gigantic hospital. And then I was introduced to a lot of different concepts about my real job. And so it was really rough. And I remember running around for more than 8 hours during my day without really like sitting down much. I was like, I don't even know if I was gonna make it. But after a few years, it became many, many more easier days. And I'm going to share some of the kind of like the fun things that I did at my lab as my career. So here's the pictures. Here's some pictures. On the left is me and Onea, is my co-worker. I was in lab coat and with my safety goggle. And one thing of Onea, she likes to clip her timer on her lab coat. And that's something I would never do, because I feel like that's a time bomb, really. Because like I can't be working and then suddenly something beeps and I'll be dropping all my specimen on the floor. So that's something I would never do. I don't know how she can do that. And then on the right, it was me, and then I took a selfie with Peter. He giving a very mischievous look, give you a tita. And we like to spend downtime and then just kind of like go and visit my coworkers during the downtime and just chit chat and make fun of each other. So that's kind of how we have like relaxed during our work. Here is the fun pictures. This is our group. We decided to get together and took a picture and give a final farewell moment of this instrument on the right, because it's a very old instrument. It was built in-house and it was time to send it out for retirement. And we decided to do a funny, just kind of like last moment funeral farewell pictures of it. Here is another very fun picture. This is the entire lab of the floor that I worked in. It used to be the biochemical genetic laboratory, and everybody was wearing pink gloves, if you didn't notice, and the pink letters that say "Happy Birthday, Cindy." And this was because a coworker named Cindy was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. And so this was a gesture that we did to wish her well. This is a picture of me with my master's degree diploma, where I graduated from the Mayo Graduate School. And I was really thankful that I was able to work as an MOS while going to school part-time and get my degree. And after graduation, I was promoted to be an education specialist. And I still work in the clinical laboratory, but my job is more focused on education. Here's a picture of me with a bunch of high school students from all around the state. And they have this program, they have high school students come visit Mayo and trying to learn a lot about science, so then they can gear toward the science career in the future. And after their program, in the after evening, we have activities for them to kind of some fun. And one of the activities that I volunteered was to go painting with them. So there was a lot of fun. So what have I learned? I learned to be responsible. I learned to have positive attitude, because the job doesn't always work all the time. You know, things goes wrong. So we have to keep positive. Forgiving and tolerance, because we work with people. So if you know we work with people, we need to be always forgiving and be tolerant and more loving and many more things. But one last thing I want to say is, although I don't really work, do the COVID-19 testing directly in my lab, but I consider all MOS are heroes, because I know our job is important, that someone is waiting for our results, whether it's a caring doctor, a sick patient, a good friend, or a desperate family member. Thank you.